She rose from concubine to China's only female emperor. Not empress, not consort, emperor. Ze Tian gave herself the same title every man before her had used, and made sure the world remembered it. But Ze Tian didn't get to the top by playing nice. She didn't smile and wait her turn. She climbed over bodies, outmaneuvered the court, and rewrote the rules, while wearing embroidered silk and probably not losing a single hairpin. Let's rewind. The year is 636. The Tang dynasty is booming. Poetry, politics, and backstabbing galore. Ze Tian is just 14 when she enters the palace of Emperor Taizong as a concubine. She's one of many. Too young, too low-ranked, and frankly, invisible. Her official job? Maid? Her actual role? Breathing decoration. For years, she watches from the sidelines, takes notes, stays quiet, and most importantly, survives. But she catches the eye of someone else. Emperor Taizong's son, Emperor Gaozong. When Emperor Taizong dies, the rulebook is clear. Concubines without sons get shipped off to Buddhist convents. No second chances, no palace return ticket. Ze Tian goes. But she doesn't stay gone for long. Emperor Gaozong breaks tradition. He brings Ze Tian back to the palace as his concubine. Let's be real, it's scandalous. Your father's concubine becomes your concubine? The courtiers practically fainted. But Emperor Gaozong didn't care, and neither did Ze Tian. She's back, and this time, she's playing to win. At this point, Empress Wang, Emperor Gaozong's wife, starts to panic. Ze Tian isn't just pretty, she's sharp, dangerous, and getting closer to the emperor by the day. Empress Wang tries to ally with another consort, Consort Xiao, to block Ze Tian from gaining power. It's an old trick. Keep your enemies surrounded. But spoiler, they picked the wrong enemy. Ze Tian doesn't just outmaneuver them, she destroys them. First socially, then literally. Then there's a story that Ze Tian smothered her own infant daughter and framed Empress Wang for the murder. Did she actually do it? Historians still argue. But either way, it worked. Emperor Gaozong stripped Empress Wang of her title and handed the crown to Ze Tian. Let's pause here. She just became empress, the highest-ranking woman in the empire, by allegedly murdering her own child. And people still think Cleopatra was savage. Once crowned, Ze Tian didn't waste time. She installed her allies, got rid of Emperor Gaozong's other favorites, and started quietly running things from the background. Emperor Gaozong, bless his heart, was a bit fragile, sickly, indecisive, perfect. She ruled with him, and then ruled for him. She set up her own secret police, started spying on ministers, tortured, exiled, or executed anyone who looked at her sideways. This wasn't just about maintaining power, this was about cleaning house. And let's be clear, she wasn't apologizing for any of it. She rewrote official histories to make herself look good, promoted Buddhism because it gave her divine legitimacy, and had massive sculptures of the Buddha built with her face carved into them. Humble. By now, Ze Tian wasn't just powerful, she was untouchable, but she wasn't done. Then, Emperor Gaozong died. Now the real game begins. Tradition said she should retire as Empress Dowager and let her son rule. Ze Tian didn't. She put her sons on the throne like chess pieces, then removed them when they got too confident. One was exiled, another was forced to abdicate. One may have been straight up poisoned. It was like musical chairs with emperors, except she never gave up her seat. In 690, she made it official. She declared herself Emperor of China, not Empress Regent, not Mother of the Emperor, just Emperor. Period. She renamed the dynasty from Tang to Zhou and became the only woman in 3,000 years of Chinese imperial history to sit on the dragon throne in her own right. And she ruled like she meant it. That's part one. Like what you're hearing, hit that subscribe button. We've got more palace drama coming. So now she's emperor, full title, no asterisks. Ze Tian sits on the dragon throne wearing the robes, issuing the decrees, and making sure no one forgets how she got there. The dynasty? Renamed. The rules? Rewritten. The patriarchy? On fire. But don't get too comfortable. This wasn't a peaceful reign. Ze Tian ruled with elegance on the surface and iron underneath. Every decision, every appointment, every glance was calculated. She didn't just run the empire, she watched it, closely. Her secret police weren't just active, they were everywhere. spying on nobles, listening at doors, collecting confessions, sometimes under torture. And when she needed someone gone, they were gone. Quietly, publicly, or both. But here's the twist. It wasn't all fear and fire. Ze Tian knew how to balance terror with reform. She promoted officials based on talent, not just family name. She opened up exams for people from lower classes. She brought in scholars, strengthened agriculture, invested in infrastructure. Underneath all that ruthless control was actual progress. People might have been afraid of her, but many still respected her. And she didn't care if the court whispered behind her back. She had portraits of herself made as a bodhisattva, a divine being, radiant, powerful, untouchable. She was building not just a reign, but a myth. But let's talk palace drama, because it didn't end when Ze Tian took the throne. Now that she was emperor, the pressure doubled. Her own family became her biggest liability. Remember those sons she rotated off the throne like bad chess pieces? Yeah, they didn't forget. One of them, Li Dan, she demoted. Another, Li Jie, she briefly reinstated, then replaced again. There was tension, betrayal, and way too many rumors of poisoned soup. And then came Zhang Yizhi and Zhang Changzong, two handsome brothers who became her personal favorites. Some called them advisors, others called them other things. They were younger, flatterers, and yes, almost certainly lovers. The court was scandalized. Ze Tian didn't care. She gave them titles, power, luxury, because by now she didn't need to play by anyone's rules but her own. But even Ze Tian couldn't reign forever. By the year 705, she was in her 80s, sick, isolated, and surrounded by enemies who had been waiting for decades to strike. A coup was launched, quietly and efficiently. The Zhang brothers were executed. Ze Tian was forced to abdicate. She stepped down. The Tang dynasty was restored. Her son, Li Xian, now renamed Emperor Zhongzong, was put back on the throne. And Ze Tian, the woman who'd outlived emperors, executed rivals, and ruled all of China, faded from the court she had once owned. She died not long after. And for centuries, her name was dragged through the mud. The official histories painted her as cruel, manipulative, immoral. They called her a usurper, a seductress, a tyrant. But here's the thing. Ze Tian was ruthless. She did kill, spy, and scheme, but so did every other emperor. The difference? She was a woman, and that terrified them more than any sword ever could. Today, historians are starting to look again. Not at the scandals, but at the strategy. Not at the rumors, but at the results. She held the empire together, expanded opportunities for commoners, stabilized the government, and proved, without question, that a woman could rule just as well as any man. Better, actually. Ze Tian didn't ask for power. She took it. And when the world said, "You can't," she said, "Watch me." That's part 2. If you made it this far, drop a comment and tell us what shocked you the most. Let's play a game. Spot the AI fails in this video. Bet you missed a few.